Lisa. Happy New Year. I am doing my first filmed layout for 2015. Well, what am I getting? My first layout for 2015, and it is about what happened in 2014 and my plans for 2015. I do a layout like this every year. It's always one of my favorite ones to do. It takes a little bit of time because I want it to be, you know, really special, and also it's going to have a lot of journaling, so I have to come up with a way to contain all that journaling. I want to show you some of the past things. Last year I actually did 2 pages. I did the accomplishments from the previous year, which I put in this pocket up here. And I was doing a lot of mixed media stuff, which I'm still doing, so I was having a lot of fun with that. Love the colors on that page. And then this one has always been one of my favorite pages from the past year because it has some of my favorite products from Webster's Pages. Love the colors. I'm a real blue-green person. And it has a little tabbed booklet with lots of pages that I can go through. There's a tab that I need to add a little extra glue to. But I can go through these and see what my plans were, and now kind of look back and see what I've done in the past year. So it also has some wood embellishments. You know, I love wood veneer and some stitching and just all of my favorite things on the page. Then I have this one from 2012 that was a really popular, has been a really popular video, creating these pockets, and then each of the pockets has some journaling in there about what happened and what my plans were for the coming year, and a lot of small photos. In this one I just took photos from the various photos from the past year. I didn't make a selfie like I do sometimes and like I attempted to do for this page. And again, lots of blues and green colors. This year I'm looking at some brighter colors. What I always do is kind of go through my papers and say, all right, what's my favorite paper? What have I not used? What do I really, really want to work with? And when I did that yesterday, I came up with the Highline collection from Basic Gray, and I didn't even look at the stickers until this morning, but there's a lot of great stickers with this collection as well. So I want to use what little bit of Highline I have left. Actually, that's not Highline, but it matches. It's also a Basic Gray paper. I'm not crazy about the selfie I took yesterday, and today I'm coming down with a cold. Visited relatives over New Year's, and I resisted the temptation to hold the babies that were sick, but somehow I still got sick anyway. So I have a photo here that I don't know if I'll take a new one or not, but it's not going to happen over the next few days because I don't think I'd make a better picture right now. I think that I also don't really necessarily start with a sketch on these. I just kind of look at it and try to figure out how I'm going to arrange things, what looks good to me. I went through my silhouette cuts last night because I have a desire this year to do more with my silhouette and put that most expensive piece of equipment I have in the scrap room to even more use. This was a cut I did in stenciling material and have used for a stencil. It's from the Silhouette store. I don't think I'm going to use it as a stencil though. I think I'm going to recut it in some kind of paper, probably cardstock, and then use it as a photo mat. I liked it because it's more modern, it has some energy, and what I don't like about this photo is it doesn't look like I have any energy in that photo at all. But the pictures do. The pictures, the papers do convey energy and this fun color. I'm going to have to be the energetic one coming up on this year. I take care of my parents a lot. My husband's going to be having some elective surgery in a couple of months, and I'm going to be the person who has to be getting things done. So hopefully I get this cold out of the way early and can do that. So I wanted a layout to convey that, to kind of get me motivated for the year, and that's where I thought all this hot pink and red and the orangey colors would come in handy. So I like this die cut, just don't like the photo, but I can replace the photo. Now as far as arrangement, let's see, let's take one of these where I have a full, I have a full page of this too. Well anyway, let's just take the light pink one because it's not so busy and how I can use it to place. Alright, so I got a 12 by 12 page here. What I'm thinking of is putting the photo down here in the lower right hand corner and then creating a large open pocket so that it's open on two sides and it'll be easy to slide my stuff in. I can slide it in from the top of the page protector, pull it out during the year and read it. That was the only drawback to this page, is once you get it in the page protector, unless I had cut out the page protector, which I could have done to make this easy to open, I had to pull it out when I wanted to look at it. Of course, I had this typed up on the computer too, so that wasn't too bad. But I think I'm going to create kind of an open pocket here and then just print out my journaling and put inside. I'm not sure I have the energy to work with a pocket and do all the sewing and stuff this year anyway. So do that, and then maybe put a strip across here and put some of the stickers. That's a good thing about, if I'm going to be putting papers down in here, I can't put real heavy embellishments or thick embellishments around here, or they're going to get, the papers are going to get caught on them every time they go in and out. So that's where these stickers are going to come in handy, because I need my embellishments, anything that's up in this area, to be kind of flat. I can put some bulk down here, but to get that paper in and out, I need this area to be sort of flat. So, I don't know if I'm going to use this pink background or not. That's too much energy. Those flowers, I'm not crazy about that. I think I want more geometrics. I love this paper. I've been really saving with it. It's one of my favorites, this red and pink wood grain. So I think I may use it as the pocket. And then cut this out. I might just even cut it out in white. To go on there, but I don't want to use it as a stencil. I'm going to use it as a die cut for this particular layout. And this one, I could do some strips with it. It's a little too busy, I think, to be the whole background, because there's going to be a lot of other stuff on here. Oh, and here's another one I really love, these dots, and I know I don't have the, yeah, I've trimmed just a little bit off of this, but I have a lot of it left. That's pretty. That's really pretty. I like that. I might use that as the background and add some other paper to it somewhere to make it big enough. So anyway, those are some of my thoughts on this. What I think I need to do next is to go cut this out of, figure out what color I'm going to cut this out of and cut it, and not cut off the bottom like I did here, and probably about the same size. I could make it a tiny bit smaller, but I don't think I want to, or a little bit bigger, because it's going to have my pocket about that large. I can actually go a little bit larger. So I'm going to cut that out, and I think maybe some rhinestones in places here. And yeah, really beginning to get a vision for the page. So I need to add just a little bit more to this polka dot paper to make it longer, and I had two pieces of that one paper, the one that has the orange on the back, and I still had a strip of the orange left, so I'm going to put it on the bottom. Just marking where I want to cut my pocket. And I'm going to round the corner of that. I'm using the Creative Memory circle cutters to round this corner. I could just sort of do it by hand too. I didn't quite get it in the right position up there at the top. I'm going to have to trim a little bit more off of it, but I'll do that off camera. And then I'm just adding a little bit of ink to the die cut. I did in a really pale orange. I think this was the old Apricot Appeal cardstock from Stamping Up that I had in my scrap drawer. I had several sheets of it, so I think it must have been the Stamping Up one. I just added a few other inks to it to make it a little more interesting. These gems are Prima crystals that I got from Peachy Cheap. That's why I had so many different ones, and I'll be pulling those together here in a few moments. But right now we're looking at some stickers from the Highline collection. And I couldn't find my wax paper to lay them on, so I'm just cutting some of them out. There's a border sticker here I really like. And there's a few other small ones that I know I'm going to want to use. Now I think this paper needs a little something to define the edge of it, so I decided to go around the edge with some white gesso. And I'm using gesso instead of white paint only because I had something else laying on my table that I wanted to put gesso on. To something I was doing for my Etsy shop. So that's the only reason why I did gesso instead of white paint. I just want a white edge. and that'll give that a little bit of definition. I could have gone darker with Distress ink, but I thought the lighter would look pretty here. And a few little dots of Tombow adhesive for glue to add my die cut in place. I could sew this on, but as I said, I wasn't sure. My sewing machine's in the basement, and my craft room's on the second floor. It's the only thing on the second floor. It's just a guest bedroom, and that I use for the craft room. So I end up having to walk down 2 flights of stairs to use the sewing machine, and I don't really want to do that today. So I decided to use some adhesive. That's Creative Memories tape adhesive. You could use the red sticky strip. Just something that will hold really well so that your pocket stays in place. Got a few more stickers. I'm going to have to do something up in the upper right hand corner. I decided to use that area instead of the upper left corner for my embellishments, but I'm going to have to do something up there to sort of hold the stickers and things so that I'll still be able to slide my paper in the back and behind them. Just pulling off a few stickers that I know I want to use. I put that little geotag on my photo. I'm liking the photo more. If I don't like it, I can always, sub out another photo, because other than that geotag, there's not going to be anything else laying on top of it. Now for the title for this, I'm just using the year, 2014. And these particular stickers, I have almost nothing left in the alphabet, but I have a bunch of numbers. And they match beautifully, so I'm glad I hung on to them. They're a really old set. And I'm looking for some flowers. I like to put flowers. I don't get to do flowers on a lot of pages. I don't do a lot of girly pages. And I just don't find that I can do as many flowers. So I very often want to put flowers on these kind of pages of just me. Now this trim here is from Hobby Lobby. It was out of the fabric department. Even though it's not fabric at all, it's really plastic. And it was very cheap. And I could cut it up into pieces, and I think it will make a fun trim. These are Chamel's new line. Well, it was new a few months ago anyway, of the cork stickers. Not quite happy with that heart. I had to move it around a little bit before I found it a home. Alright, we're going to try some of these gems. I haven't had these very long. It's the first project I've put them on. And I've figured out I needed some of the larger ones in a few places. Many of them have a pinkish color. You just can't see it depending on how the page is turned. It's whether you'll be able to see those or not. And I decided I didn't like that Prima or Paper Studio, whichever one's flower that I had there, that I really would rather have one of the stickers. And then the other two flowers I think are Prima, and I'll put a brad in the middle of those. I've got these little metal embellishments that are from a different basic gray collection. And I'm zooming out here so you can see a little better. What I did with the flower, it needed to be a little larger, so I just put it on some white cardstock and trimmed it out with a border. And I'll use some pop dots to put that in place. And I decided to go ahead and add 15 in this because the journaling has not just what we did in 2014, but also plans for the new year. And I'm going to use, I couldn't figure out first how to put these on, and I finally decided to do some pop dots, or some glue dots rather, to adhere this particular trim. So let's take a look at our page. With my big pocket, I have my accomplishments from last year and some objectives and ideas for the coming year. I didn't staple those together. It was just 3 sheets of paper. Since they were pretty large, I was able to get a lot of stuff on just a few sheets of paper. I put some stickers and things on this extra little piece of paper here so it'd be easy to slide everything in the back. We'll take a close look at some of the embellishments. I've got that little trim from Hobby Lobby and some of the stickers from the Highline, Basic Gray Highline collection, and some of that paper. These Prima crystals. A few flowers. I added a little, another little sticker here rather than putting something in, underneath that label sticker. And then this is from another Basic Gray collection, but it coordinated. So that is my page to wrap up 2014 and start out 2015. Thank you for joining me today. There'll be lots of things coming up. I have the sketchbook of all of last year's sketches and the link to the videos that will be coming along here in just a few days. Also, I am participating in Load, Layout a Day, in February, and I hope you'll join us. Lane Amon sponsors this event, and she gives all these great prompts, and they're usually very versatile to where you can interpret them however you want, but they make you think about things that you might not have thought about for scrapbooking and capture some stories you might not have captured otherwise. So I did Load for the first time last year. I really loved it. I did February's and May. This year she's only going to have February. So I hope you'll get in on that, and you'll find links for these things in the description for this video. So thank you again for watching, and I look forward to having lots of videos for 2015.